Hey folks, welcome back to the show, or welcome for your first time. Hope you enjoy it here. Uh, Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure you know how, and not, well, I can't really show you here. But, anyways, please leave a like if you think I earned it, and subscribing would be awesome. But let's get right into this game. It's Edmonton's back to back on the road, which is kind of tough, but at least Ottawa, where they're playing last night, is pretty close to Toronto. I also want to put this up front. I don't believe in blaming the refs. I think it's wrong. I think Edmonton fans get really excited to blame the refs, but I'm like, well, the Oilers could have done better still. That doesn't mean the refs make bad calls, and I know the NHL is incredibly hard to ref. So I don't like blaming the refs. My opinion is like, if I can see, if I can understand the refing logic, then okay. Even if I disagree, if I can at least understand it, okay. But there's a line. The line was crossed against Ottawa. Uh, so up front, this is the first game of the year for me. At least I know Oilers fans have blamed the refs a couple times this year, if not more. But this is the first for me where am going to blame the refs. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to be soft on the Oilers in this review. There's some things they could have done better, and I'm still going to compliment Ottawa. They had some good moments. Um, Anyways, so let's get right into it. Edmonton Oilers come out firing. Corpusalo does have a pretty good game, which is a little rare this year. Well, not rare this year, but not as common this year. But he has a pretty good game, and he has a really good save on the fourth line. It was the Oilers' fourth line. Had a really good play, and Corpusalo made two saves, sprawling saves on that. But before that happened, it became a 1-0 game when Adam Henrique scores his 20th goal of the year, 3 minutes and 49 seconds into the first period. He was assisted by Ekholm and Bouchard. And then Derek Ryan, at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, goes off for slashing. I think that was a fair call. I wasn't blaming the refs quite yet. And 7 seconds into that power play, Jacob Chychrun gets the puck and scores. It's his 10th goal of the year, and he's assisted by Stützle and Batherson. So I did get some fantasy points out of Batherson. And then 10 minutes later, during those 10 minutes, the Oilers dominate quite well. Vinny Desharnais goes off for playing hockey. I'm not kidding. They called it interference, but it was. Are you serious? I had a auto friend tell me, he's like, yeah, those two calls on. Well, I'll say it at the end. But I had an Ottawa friend who agreed with me. He was still happy the Sens won, which I understand. But, anyways, at least the Edmonton Oilers kill off that penalty. They don't do a lot of that tonight. So even though there's questionable refereeing, that doesn't excuse Picard or the penalty kill. Then the Oilers get their own power play opportunity 6 seconds away from the end of the first period when Brandstrom goes off for interference. The Oilers actually pull the goalie for those last 6 seconds. It doesn't result in a goal, but they do get a couple of shots on in those 2 seconds, ending the period with a 1-1 tie. Shots 13-5 in favor of Edmonton. Edmonton Oilers are dominating. In the last review, I mentioned which was another late review. If you're wondering why this is a late review or if there's a different setup, go watch the other video. But the Toronto video, Michaels mentioned that the last time the Oilers got dominated in the first 2 periods was against the Carolina Hurricanes, and then the Oilers had a really good third period. It wasn't good enough to win, but it was good enough to build momentum for the Oilers to have really strong games, which turned into a 17-game winning streak, which obviously didn't happen because the Oilers ended up losing, and because there's not 17 games left in the season for the Oilers. But the Oilers certainly played like a team that should have won. So the second period comes around, and before the penalty power play can end from the previous period, Draisaitl scores, of course. It's his 37th goal of the year, and it's a really nasty angle, and he's assisted by McDavid and Bouchard. And then almost 2 minutes later, Ridley Gregg goes off for tripping, and the Oilers are on the power play again. And 6 seconds in, it's Zach Hyman with his 50th of the year, 50th for the first time in his career, and he's assisted by Bouchard and Connor McDavid. There is a mic'd up version of that play on the Edmonton Oilers YouTube channel, where you really get how excited and how awesome the team chemistry is in the Oilers building, as well as just how humble Hyman is. Like he's really happy about it. Obviously, there's a big smile on his face. He's laughing about it, but he's saying thank you like 20 times because Draisaitl is just screaming, yeah, the whole time. I can't do the actual scream because I'm not the only one who lives in this house, but he seems to be more excited about Hyman 50 goals than Hyman is, and McDavid's up there too, and the whole team really, they're super happy for him. Obviously, Hyman's excited too, but that wasn't his focus. Focus is winning, which didn't happen. But anyways, Hyman got his 50, so I could do a video on those 50 goals because people are questioning, well, it's easy to score 50 goals. Well, I could do it. No, you can't. But anyways, it's when I mean it's easy to score 50 goals, people are saying it's easy to score 50 goals when you have McDavid. But again, no, you can't unless you're actual NHL player and a really good one. But that's a different video. It was a tap, and it was a pretty easy goal for Hyman to score, though, his 50th. But he's smart. He's a smart player, and he knows where to be. He knows exactly where to stand. And McDavid and Joyce are very good at getting the puck to him, and he doesn't miss from there. It's hard to miss from there, but it does happen. I saw one person said, well, Hyman has 60 goals, but 10 of them got called back, which is a tendency for him, and he certainly knows it. Anyways, back to the game. So it's 3-1. The Oilers feeling really good. They are dominating, and they continue to dominate. But they do allow Stützle to break through the defense. He has a nice play to score his 18th goal of the year on Picard 4 minutes and 48 seconds into the second period. He's assisted by Brandstrom and Matthew Joseph. Then there's some more back and forth, and by back and forth I mean Edmonton Oilers dominating before Vinny Desharnais for the second time gets called for playing hockey. I'm serious. And again, they called it interference, but let's be honest here. That was a pretty soft call, and the Ottawa power play once again doesn't take long to score. This time it took 12 seconds, so a bit longer than Jordan's 7 seconds, but 12 seconds for Drake Batherson, so fantasy points for me, so yay. He scores I accidentally wrote Batherson is his scored and assisted himself. I don't think that's what happened. Okay, here's the actual thing. He scored his 25th goal of the year and is assisted by Stützle and Tkachuk. I have an app open on the behind my notes, or as well as my notes, so that if there's a mistake I can quickly look. But anyways, so Ottawa's able to make it only a 1-goal lead in favor of Edmonton as the period ends. Shots this time were 18-7 in favor of the Oilers. And even though it's a 1-goal lead for Edmonton, there's still lots of confidence. As long as Desharnais doesn't play hockey, because he's going to get called for it if he does, the Oilers should win. And he doesn't. Somebody else did, though. But early in the third period, 24 seconds, in fact, Chabot goes off for slashing. This time, Ottawa kills that penalty. And there isn't anything of note that happens until way later when Mattias Ekholm this time goes off for playing hockey. Again, I'm serious. You can go look at it. They called him for holding. He really didn't. I don't like playing with. I really don't. I really wish that the Sens, even though they're a bad team, beat the Oilers fair and square. I really do wish that. It'd be more embarrassing. It would be more embarrassing for the Oilers to lose to the Senators fair and square. I really wish that happened because I don't like playing with. But come on. And guess what? They do it again. The Sens score. This time it's Chychrun, and he He takes a bit longer than 7 seconds, but not 12 seconds. He only takes 9 seconds to score. It's his 11th goal of the year, second power play goal of the game. Is assisted by Batherson and Kachuk. So getting more fantasy points for me. Woohoo! Um, the penalty call on Ekholm was he was sticking his hand out to the left because he was racing for the puck against the Sens player. And this is a very common move. Everybody in the league does it. He doesn't grab the Sens player. He doesn't do any of that. Maybe he did in the ref's mind because he called it for holding. But again, he was just playing hockey. So, anyways, the Sens now have a lead. I think I said the Oilers had it was a tie game at the end of the second, but it was actually a tie game, 3-3. Yeah, but now the Sens have a lead, and it's 4-3. And the Oilers were like, "What the heck, man? You know, they do everything right, and they're getting screwed." And the third period just kind of doesn't go right for the Oilers. They don't get a lot of shots in the third period. And Kelly scores the empty netter 38 seconds away from the end of the game. It's a 7th goal of the year, and it's assisted by Claude Giroux. So the game ends 5-3. Yeah, it was just a bad game in terms of the reffing. The Oilers did really well. They only outshot Ottawa 5-4 that time, but in total they more than doubled Ottawa's shots, 36-16. But again, Ottawa won 5-3 because Picard did not have a good game. The reffing does not excuse Picard or the Oilers' penalty kill. Ottawa did out-hit Edmonton 26-18, but that's expected when Edmonton has a puck for as long as it did. Edmonton once again won in the face-off circle more often, 53.7%. They were 2 for 3 on the power play, but an abysmal 1 for 4 on the penalty kill. And then it should have just been 0 for 1 because the Derek Ryan penalty was fair. The other 3. Picard was 11 for 15. So again, reffing doesn't excuse him. Yeah, it was a pretty bad night for him. Korpisalo had an excellent night. I'm still going to compliment the Sens. Not as excellent as Chychrun, but Korpisalo himself still had a really excellent night. 33 saves on 36 shots, including a couple highlight reels saves. But as a testament to the Oilers' dominance, Money Puck, I've said the last time I brought them up, I don't always bring up the deserve to win meter because it doesn't really matter. It matters who won at the end, but it is notable when it's this high, when the Oilers had a 71.1% deserve to win meter via Money Puck. The top 4 players, or top 4 defensemen for the Oilers, had a really good game. Bouchard and Ekholm, really amazing game. Nurse had a bounce back game from an ugly game the night before. He was paired with Desharnais, and that line proved really well. Ceci and Kulak could be better, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. So you can say, well, they weren't amazing like the top 4, but that's okay. The top 4 really had a really great game, and the Oilers as a whole did. So as long as Vinny Desharnais doesn't play hockey ever again, he won't get called for interference, because obviously when he plays hockey, that's a call. Don't touch a Sens player. That penalty interference. So I meant to say, I have a friend from Ottawa who he himself admitted that the calls on Desharnais and on Ekholm were pretty ugly, pretty bad. He was still happy by the win, obviously, as I would too. But this is only the first time of the year I'm going to really blame the refs more. So, and I don't like doing that. I don't like saying that. If you disagree, feel free to use the comment section. Tell me why I'm wrong or why I'm right. I really don't think the refs have been that bad this year. Bad reffing happens. I was a ref in basketball, but this leads to a bigger discussion that is better for another video. So that's just kind of my opinion. Is no, the reffing issue is overblown by fans. It's underblown by the NHL, but it's overblown by fans. But this time, if fans hated reffing, it was fair. I'm not saying this because the Oilers lost to the Sens. Again, I wish I wish that Corpusal, just had a really amazing game, and he did. I wish it was just simply came down to goaltending and not the fact that the Sens scored, had three power play opportunities they really shouldn't have had and scored on two of them. Uh, so, yeah, it was just bad. So I hope the Oilers still maintain the positive momentum that they built in that third period against Toronto, that they built during this game, and that they don't let the final score or the reffing ruins that. They are professionals; they shouldn't. But it is quite possible they can. Their next game is against Winnipeg tomorrow night. That's Tuesday night, March 26th. They are a very tough opponent when Colin Hellebuck has a good history against the Oilers, but the Jets are reeling a bit. I saw TSN had a video saying should they Oilers and Jets panic. I might go over that, but I really don't think the Oilers should. I'd have to look at the Jets more. I don't think the Oilers should panic. And the Jets are still a playoff team. All you have to do is get into the playoffs. And hey, if your goalie is really good, or Connor freaking Hellebuck, you should be fine. That's my short view. Maybe I can go into it tomorrow. I have a busy day tomorrow before the game, so maybe, I don't know. But anyways, that's it for this video. Before you go, let's go over the Oilers 3 stars. Bouchard was my first star. He had three assists. He had a very excellent game on 5-5. And the power play, Hyman got a goal, and he was also very excellent on even strength play, as well as McDavid, who's your third star with 2 assists. So that's it for me. That's it for tonight. I gotta eat and go to bed before my busy day tomorrow, which will involve watching and reviewing the Winnipeg Jets at Edmonton Oilers games. And I hope you are there for that. You'll see it faster if you have notifications on when you subscribe. I think it's a pretty good deal to see my face as soon as possible. I don't know if you agree, but you probably should. Anyways, that's it for now. Leave a like before I go and before you go if you think I've earned it. I think I have, and I will see you when I see you.